Humans don't make peace with their food. Captain Zaruz of the Zorak fleet could not believe his auditory receptors. Standing on the bridge of his command ship, he replayed the intercepted human transmission again. The message was clear, and there was no garbled static from a distant star system. These were the words of Earth's top military commander. "Run it through the translator again," Zaruz demanded, his eye stalks quivering in agitation. The bridge crew, a mix of various species from the Zorak Empire, dutifully complied. A moment later, the same words echoed through the command deck, this time accompanied by a hologram of General Marcus Steele, the human commander, delivering his speech to a crowd of Earthlings. Zaruz turned to his lieutenant. "Tusk, what does it mean?" Tusk, whose knowledge of human culture was second to none within the fleet, shifted uncomfortably. "It appears, sir, that humans view us as prey. They have no intention of negotiating peace. They believe in conquering and consuming." A murmur of disbelief spread through the bridge crew. Zaruz silenced them with a wave of his claw. "Preposterous! This must be a psychological tactic to intimidate us." He turned his gaze to the vastness of space displayed on the viewscreen. Beyond the hull of the command ship lay Earth, a deceptively beautiful blue marble, swarming with life and danger. The Zorak fleet had been dispatched to this remote corner of the galaxy to establish a foothold on the planet, but so far every attempt had ended in disaster. Ships vanished without a trace, squadrons of warriors were obliterated, and not a single Zorak had returned with any intelligence on the enemy's true capabilities. Zaruz resolved to be different. He would not let his crew succumb to fear or superstition. "Prepare the fleet for immediate assault," he ordered. "We will show these humans the might of the Zorak Empire." General Marcus Steele stood in the command bunker deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, overseeing the final preparations for Earth's defense. The latest reports confirmed that another alien fleet was inbound. Steele's face, a craggy landscape of scars and determination, betrayed no hint of doubt. He knew what needed to be done. "Sir, the Zorak fleet is mobilizing," reported Colonel Hayes, his second in command. "They'll be within firing range in 15 minutes. Steele nodded, his steely eyes fixed on the holographic projection of the approaching fleet. "Good. Let's remind them why they should stay away from Earth." Hayes glanced at his superior. "Permission to speak freely, sir?" "Granted. Why don't we just try to talk to them? Maybe this time it could be different." Steele's gaze remained unwavering. "You think we haven't tried that? Every time we've shown even a hint of weakness, they've attacked us harder." "No, Colonel, we can't negotiate with predators. We have to be stronger, fiercer if we want to survive. We must become the hunters." The minutes ticked by, each second a drumbeat of impending conflict. The Zorak fleet emerged from hyperspace, their ships forming a phalanx of shimmering metal and energy. Zaruz watched from his command ship, his mandibles clicking in anticipation. He had heard the tales of Earth's defenders, but he refused to believe that such a primitive species could pose a genuine threat to the Zorak Empire. "Deploy fighters and prepare to engage," Zaruz commanded. The fleet surged forward, weapon systems primed and ready. In the command bunker, Steele observed the Zorak formations. "All units, prepare to engage on my mark." The first salvo came from the Zorak fleet, a barrage of energy blasts that lit up the dark expanse of space. Earth's orbital defenses activated, intercepting the incoming fire with precision. The skies above the planet turned into a battlefield of light and fury. "Send in the drones," Steele ordered. Swarms of autonomous fighters launched from hidden silos, their sleek forms darting toward the Zorak ships. They moved with the agility of predators, weaving through the enemy's defenses and striking with surgical precision. Zaruz watched in disbelief as his ships were outmaneuvered and outgunned. "How is this possible? They're just drones." The Zorak fleet's coordination began to falter under the relentless assault. Steele's tactics were ruthless, exploiting every weakness with cold efficiency. Each Zorak ship that fell only fueled the humans' resolve. In the chaos of battle, Zaruz received a transmission from one of his scouts. "Sir, we've detected unusual energy signatures on the planet's surface. It's possible they have a new form of weapon. Locate and neutralize it," Zaruz ordered. But as his scouts moved to comply, they were met with fierce resistance. Earth's ground defenses were as formidable as its space fleet. General Steele watched the battle unfold, his expression unreadable. "They're adapting faster than expected," Hayes observed. "They always do," Steele replied. "That's why they have to stay one step ahead." In the heart of the conflict, the Zorak flagship took a direct hit, its shields failing under the relentless bombardment. Zarus knew the battle was lost, but retreat was not an option. Not for him. All ships, continue the assault. Zarus roared. We will not be remembered as the fleet that ran from humans. The battle raged on, each side refusing to yield. As the flagship began to break apart, Zarus found himself admiring the tenacity of his foes. Perhaps there was more to these humans than he had realized, but admiration was not enough to save him. In his final moments, Zarus transmitted one last message to his superiors. The humans are predators. Back in the command bunker, Steele watched as the Zorak fleet disintegrated. He knew this was just one battle in a long war, but it was a victory nonetheless. He turned to Hayes, a grim satisfaction in his eyes. Prepare for the next wave, he said, and make sure that message gets out. Let them know Earth is not to be trifled with. As the debris of the Zorak fleet burned up in Earth's atmosphere, Steele knew the aliens would come again. And when they did, humanity would be ready to remind them once more why Earth was a place where invaders disappeared, never to be seen again. General Steele stood amidst the organized chaos of the command bunker, analyzing data from the recent battle. Earth's victory over the Zorak fleet had bolstered morale, but he knew the respite would be brief. The aliens would regroup and return, perhaps with even greater force. Sir, another transmission from the Zorak homeworld, reported Colonel Hayes. It's garbled, but we can make out a demand for our surrender. Steele allowed himself a brief, humorless smile. They never learn, do they? Patch it through. The screen flickered to life, revealing the stern visage of High Commander Nalcor, leader of the Zorak military. His eye stalks quivered with barely restrained fury. Humans, your insolence will not go unpunished. Surrender now and we may show you mercy. Steele stepped forward, his expression cold and unyielding. High Commander Nalcor, Earth does not surrender. If you want our planet, you'll have to come and take it. But I promise you, your fleets will vanish like all the others. Nalcor's mandibles clicked in frustration. You underestimate the Zorak Empire, General. We will bring our full might to bear upon your pitiful world. We'll be ready, Steele replied, cutting the transmission. He turned to Hayes. Double the production of drones and enhance our orbital defenses. They're coming back, and we need to be prepared. In the depths of space, High Commander Nalcor seethed. The humans had humiliated the Zorak Empire time and again. This affront could not stand. He summoned his Council of War, a cadre of the most brilliant and ruthless minds in the Empire. We cannot afford another failure, Nalcor began, his voice a low growl. What is our next move? Admiral Zorak, a seasoned strategist, stepped forward. The humans have proven themselves formidable in direct combat. We need a different approach. Intelligence suggests they rely heavily on automated defenses and drones. We could deploy an electromagnetic pulse to disable their technology before launching a ground assault. An EMP? Nalcor mused. It's risky, but it could work. What do we need? Our engineers can modify a fleet to carry and deploy the EMP device, Zorak replied. It will take time, but it will give us the advantage we need. Do it, Nalcor ordered, and make sure our ground forces are ready to deploy immediately after. We will hit them hard and fast. On Earth, Steele and his team worked around the clock to fortify their defenses. They had intercepted fragments of Zorak communications suggesting a new strategy, but the exact nature remained unclear. Steele knew they had to be ready for anything. General, we've detected unusual activity near Mars, reported Lieutenant Davis from the sensor array. It looks like the Zorak are massing a new fleet. Steele nodded. Alert all stations. We need to be ready for their next move. Days passed with mounting tension. The Zorak fleet drew closer, and Earth's defenders braced for the inevitable clash. When the attack finally came, it was swift and brutal. EMP detected. Hayes shouted as alarms blared throughout the bunker. Brace for impact! A massive electromagnetic pulse washed over Earth's defenses, knocking out satellites, drones, and communication systems. Steele's heart sank as he realized the scope of the attack. Switch to manual operations, he ordered. Activate ground defenses and prepare for a direct assault. On the ground, human soldiers faced the first wave of Zorak invaders. The battle was fierce, with both sides suffering heavy losses. Steele watched the conflict unfold from the command center, his mind racing to find a way to turn the tide. They're exploiting our reliance on technology, Hayes said. We need to adapt. Steele nodded. Send out the reserves and prepare the contingency plan. As the battle raged on, Humanity's resilience and resourcefulness shone through. Using guerrilla tactics and improvised weapons, Earth's defenders fought back with a ferocity that caught the Zorak off guard. In the end, the Zorak forces were pushed back once more. But the cost was high, and Steele knew the war was far from over. "We survived," Hayes said, exhaustion evident in his voice. "But for how long?" "As long as it takes," Steele replied. "We'll keep fighting, and we'll keep adapting, because this is our home, and we will not lose it." And so, the war continued, a battle of wills between two determined species. Each victory and defeat brought new lessons, new strategies, and new challenges. But one thing remained constant: humanity's refusal to give up.